today we got to play Tiny Epic Tactics. If I could talk, that'd be great. So this game is basically a battle royale. Every player has 4 players, and you're trying to capture the flag, attack your the other teams, and in the end, kill them to get points. So
capture them. There's no
Yeah, you got capturing and you got capture the flag. So it's all about capturing.
But their health goes to 0.
And that's when you capture them. That's when they go to your jail.
Because that's not.
They're not dead.
Right. They're captured at 0 health.
That's right. They can't defend themselves anymore.
Okay. So let's go into quality of pieces. Obviously, you got this beautiful mat. I do not believe that comes standard.
It does not.
It comes in this little tiny box.
I think the dice are pretty cool. I love the coloring that they did for this. The meeples, they are actually, this is the Rogue.
They're screen printed.
They look really nice. They're in that shape of those different characters. Then the card quality is really nice. Definitely textured. Not a huge fan of the rolly map thing.
That's the scroll map, and so that's the. Assuming you didn't have the big mat, this helps make sure you know how to put the map together. So that's the point of it.
Okay, it's just not very. It's very rolly. But I mean, it's nice. Other than that, functionality wise, I'm not sure that was the best.
Well, this is the first time we played it, so I had not. I just cracked open the cards and everything.
Okay.
So it's just not seen anywhere yet.
So. Okay, so it may late flatter. Then I guess this is part of the box.
Yeah.
These are pretty cool. They actually give rise to the board, which I kind of like. It gives you more of a
3D
visual. Yeah. One of the reasons why I love miniatures when playing role-playing games is because you can actually kind of see what you're doing. And I appreciate that piece of it. So there's a lot of other wooden bits for the heart, for magic, for the
your arrows,
for your ammo. So give it a score, guys.
I think everything is awesome, component-wise. I think it's a really cool looking game. It's very visual. It's good table presence. I think it's a solid 8.
What do you think, Randy?
I'm more of a 7 on it. I think it's. I mean, I don't like the tiny stuff, and of course that's kind of in the name. So I'm sure that all of them are going to be this way. But I prefer to have bigger pieces.
Because you're old.
Yeah. So I can't see what I'm doing.
Because it's sausage.
I do like the different levels and the tiers. As far as the cardboard, they've got the neat detail on the different terrains. I like that. Card stock is pretty good as far as the big cards.
So give it a score.
I said 7, I think.
Okay, so then.
What are you going to give it? You're going to be right in the middle again, aren't you?
I am, because I really don't. This bugs me because it's not flat, and I have things. So I have issues. So I'm going to give it a 7.5. So moving on to theme. Basically, you're playing D&D type characters, and you're attacking each other. You're attacking. So
I think the theme comes across with the art. I think it's really cool as far as the terrain, how it looks, how your characters look. They all have that. They're all unique, and it's random on which 4. You get the same type of units, but each unit in of itself is random at the beginning of every game. And so the cards themselves, I think, give the character that you're looking at for the game. So I like that part of it. So I think that's where the theme shines through the cards and the terrain.
Yeah, it's very D&D-esque.
Yeah.
I think everything's consistent in the theme. I think the artwork is cool. So I mean, what was your score? What do you?
Thematically, we were talking before this video that the gameplay of this reminds me very much of Advanced Wars, which is like my favorite portable game of video games. And I feel like they missed the boat by not going the route of having a military theme and having factories to produce units and having more variety of units.
That's another game entirely.
But it's the play of it's the same. You're capturing a flag or you're capturing a space, and you're fighting against each other's units. I think it would have made a better game as opposed to doing a D&D style. That's my take on it. I just personally think the game would have lended itself better.
I tell
to
you,
that.
if it was a military theme, I would not play it.
Which is, I would have preferred that by far.
Me not playing a game?
No, to play
I
a
wish
game
you would have
like
said
that.
I would have
I-
totally bowed out. I
well,
didn't have to be here for
I don't
this.
like being limited to 4 characters.
There were some dots getting connected there.
Yeah.
I'm out. I'm
No,
out.
I enjoy the military strategy games way more, and it felt like, oh, this would have been really cool if I had missile launchers.
Well,
and
then you can
tanks
create
and,
your own game, baby.
well, I would rather than make another Advanced Wars. That would be ideal. But if I'm going to play a board game version of Advanced Wars, that would be cool.
So,
So what score were you going to get for
thing. Not you're gonna need to do it based on what's here, not what you want.
No,
it to
I
be.
understand that. I don't. It seems like capturing the flag is kind of an odd choice of actions to do with like D&D characters.
Yeah, I don't understand what the capturing of the flag has anything to do with it, but
So I'll give this one, I guess, a 7.5 as far as theme.
So for me, I like the D&D theme. It actually means I'll be willing to play this. I don't understand the capturing of the flag thing. And honestly, I mean, most of my beefs with the gameplay. So for theme, I'll give this an 8 because it's fine.
I'm going to give it an 8 as well.
Okay.
And I already told you why.
So moving on to rules. Robert read the rules. I read pieces of it when we were looking for clarification,
But pretty simple. I mean, you really only get 3 actions. That's across the different characters that you got. So when you read through that, it explains what those 3 actions are. Pretty simple. It breaks down how to do attack, the different types of attack, counterattacking. Easy to follow. I only missed the one rule about the tactic cards, but I don't think it really affected the gameplay a whole lot. So, I mean, it's a pretty good rule book, and it's got all the different variants laid out really well. So there's multiple different ways of playing the game. You don't have to play just capture the flag, which is what we played. So I'm going to give the rule book an 8. It's really neat and it's well written and a lot of examples, cool stuff.
okay, cool. I think that's true. I mean, I think Epic Games are really known. They really have good, solid rule books.
they do.
It's really straightforward, and I appreciate that in a game. So.
I didn't read the rules for once, so I'm going to take it.
You going to agree?
I'm going to give it whatever you gave it because I didn't have to read the rules.
So moving on to gameplay, I think Robert already kind of touched base. You have 3 actions across your 4 different characters, which can be either movement, attack, either melee attack or a range attack. Or magic, depending on the character. So basically attack, move. In your movement, there are portals, and then certain terrains cost more movement. And then the other thing is you could go into a city that would heal, but that is part of a movement action. So it's really move and attack. Okay. And during the movement, things happen sometimes.
2 ways to end the game.
There's 2 ways to end the game, correct? It's doing when both of the flags are completed, or what was
And
the
that's
other?
a 3-player game. In a 4-player game, there's 3 flags.
Okay.
And so that was play number 1. The other one is if you eliminate all the other characters. So if you defeat their 4 characters, my 4 characters, then
I'll be completely honest. I would have much rather have done that than the flag thing. But so let's talk about gameplay a little bit. I know for me, honestly, y'all didn't attack me but one time, and that was at the very end. It was kind of boring. And I don't know if it's because you guys know I don't like attack games, and like, even if I would have won, I would have been like, I didn't really win. Just no one really messed with me. So for me, it was actually kind of boring. I basically set myself up and on 2 peaks, got to shoot anywhere, and I just randomly attacked people. I did every other because I wasn't getting attacked, so I couldn't pick a target to go after, nor was, I don't know. So for me, this was actually kind of boring. I don't know if it's because the map's not crowded enough. Maybe with 4 players, I would have had interaction.
I personally think that's the biggest problem is this one. The map, the way it's set up anyway, you had a tactical advantage significantly more so than the rest of us. because you were on the high ground and you had one of the flag bases right there in your area.
But people could have used the portals. No one used the portals at all.
Because to use the portal, I would be moving one guy up against your 4. It wasn't, I'm playing strategically as far as where is it advantageous for me to go. I had a clear shot at one of the flags, which I got right away, and I stayed there and I fortified. That was what made the most sense. It didn't make sense for me to fire up a mountain to try to hit you. I mean, it was not logistically the right thing to do.
Yeah, but my thing is it was definitely kind of boring for me because, like, I wrapped my mind around that you guys were going to make me play an attack game, and then it was just like, well, that was lame. For me, it was very boring. Now, if we would have removed the flags completely and just played a who survives, I think I would have had a lot more fun. I would have gotten angry a little bit more, but at least I would have had emotions instead of being like, here I am.
Right, and I get that. It was a little boring. I agree with that. But this is just, to me, I thought this was just like an introductory to the system itself. It'd be interesting to play the other variants, like the 2-player. You got 2-player versus 2-player cooperative mode. You've got a 2 to 4 player co-op mode. You got team. I mean, it's just all these different variants sound really interesting. And coupled with the fact that I've got the maps expansion, you can make the map even bigger. And so when you make the map bigger and you have these different variants, it might be really interesting.
Well, the only thing is movement. Movement, getting across the board was actually, it took me several rounds just to get to the edge of that one spot. So I don't know if making the map any bigger will help achieve, because
you never took advantage of the portals. And the portals are a good way of getting around the board.
Right.
I was able to spread myself all over the board, and that's how I ended up getting to the cities, because I used the portals.
Well, I mean, I had 2 cities up there that I could have had access to, because
yeah.
But the reality is I opted to destroy one of your guys, but instead of using that movement to go to get those things.
I mean, that's the thing is, you capture a flag, I capture a flag, and it was more strategically advantageous for me to end the game while I was up than to try to go and do anything to stop you from getting the flag, which I could have done, but I would have slaughtered my own person by sending one guy up there against 4, and it just didn't make any sense.
Yeah, and you gave me the opportunity of getting your person, and then end up,
You score additional points through capturing your enemy forces. You get 2 points per character. And if you end the game on a city, you also score a point that way. So that's where a little bit of the tactics that Randy implemented is he let the game in. He was on 3 more cities than Miranda was. He won the game.
Yeah, it was very anticlimactic. Give it a score?
This is definitely one of, even though I think it's one of the, it's probably, if not the prettiest of the Tiny Epic games, in my opinion, because I really love the 3D element of it, and it's really cool looking. It's definitely a lower on the list of my preferred Tiny Epic games. So, I mean, overall, I think I'd give it a 6.
Okay, what about you?
Well, that's the thing. The frustrating thing about this is I think if you expanded the maps and all of that, it would just make the problems worse, because now you've got 4 units that are crossing all kinds of territory to get to each other to fight. I would love to play a game like this, again, where I could produce more units. If I could build units and have them, tactically choose.
You like to build engines.
I like to, well, it's not just that. In a game like this, I'm fortifying, I'm building up defense, I'm having my grunts in front of my more ranged areas.
I mean, even though you're talking about Tactics Advance, right?
I'm talking about Advanced Wars or games like that.
Any of those. But so, StarCraft board game, or Warcraft board game, stuff like that, where you actually, when you develop a city, you got buildings in the city that give you cool stuff, and then you build units, and then you send all your units out and attack the other guy.
Yeah, you build up and you attack, and then you strategically retreat, or whatever.
One of my favorite video games of that series, I don't know if you guys ever played, was called The Moon Project. That was a great video game.
What would have been interesting is if you had to build the cities.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's things that could have...
Yeah, I think there's more that could have been done to this game, and that's what's frustrating, because I like this style of game.
I'd be building.
I'm
building.
I like this style of game. I just wish there was more to it, and only having 4 units and not being able to build or produce more. There's no advantage to making this map bigger, because all it's going to do is draw the game out where you walk. It's, you know, the whole, again, Lord of the Rings first movie, I'm just going to walk for the entire film thing. It's like, you know, it wouldn't have been any more it would have been less anticlimactic.
Hey, I thought second breakfast was very important.
And the other thing is we had 0 melee attacks in this because it just wasn't beneficial to get close to somebody because you
the counterattack, the kickback. Yeah. There's so many reasons.
It wasn't
why
even
you don't
so much
melee.
that. For me, it was because if you end your movement so you could be adjacent, you would have to be weakened to then do the physical attack. So it wasn't tactically advantageous to move and do a melee.
Yeah, you got a strong advantage by being the first to an area where you could stop. And
I had my character, my beast, would have been able to help me with that because he could actually pick up another character and take him with him. And then I could drop them off, and then that guy could have been melee adjacent and then been able to take advantage of it. But I never got a chance to do that.
But why when you could just have your missiles or your magic? I mean...
Because, you're right. 3 out of 4 being able to attack at range is,
Yeah.
Why worry about it?
Yeah.
So, you gave it a 6. What did you give it?
As far as gameplay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably right there with you on a 6 on this. And that's, again, it's probably more... I like it better than Catan because it's short.
It is a very short game.
I mean, that's the main reason that would be above it for 5.
Honestly, guys, I will play Catan 10 times over than playing this again. It was boring. I literally was like, do I have to finish playing this game? And when it was like, oh, Randy, you're going to end the game. And I was like, okay, I'm okay with that. Like, I am totally okay with this ending. I'm going to give it a 4 because I like Catan way better than this.
Base Catan.
Even base Catan.
Well, that's what we're talking about. Because Cities and Nights, again, I would way better.
No, I'm talking about basic Catan. Okay. Don't make me play this again, please. It's boring. I mean, it's not that I hate it. It's that it's boring.
Okay.
So, all right. Well, that's it. I hope you guys had fun tonight. Not so much.
Well, I mean, maybe if it interests you, maybe you liked it more, leave us a comment and tell us why you think it's better than what we
Or
thought.
tell us maybe the expansions or the other variants, maybe that brings out... Like I said, if this game was a whoever just survives, I would be... Yeah. I think I would have had a lot more fun.
I'm not a fan of house rolling, but this might be the game that could get me to be a fan of that. Because if we could change it into something similar to the tactics video games that I do like playing, like Final Fantasy Tactics or something like that, that could be a completely different story.
Yeah. I mean, give us a suggestion. Is there a taxi game out there that, can meet those needs?
Did you say a taxi game?
Tactics.
Oh, okay. I'm not even sure are there any
Your
taxi
hearing's
games?
going bad.
I'm sure there's a taxi.
That would be interesting.
Actually, that would be a lot of fun to try to be like maneuver.
It would be basically
traffic.
a pick up and deliver type thing. But
yeah, but traffic changes or something. I mean, it would be fun. It would be interesting.
New topic for a new game for us to come up with.
Hey, I've got a couple ideas. I just don't know how to create a game. All right. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. Hope you guys come. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Bye.
Bye.